It's 1984, The White Book by Makavelli, Episode 15, Part 4, Miami Vice, Voodoo, and Sacred Supreme Stuff. Miami Vice, lunch periods. So where we're at in the book now is, you'll see it says lunch periods and there's numbers. It says like PS 521. So if you're wondering, all right, this is almost like the Rosetta Stone to figure out some of the characters. Because if you see PS 521 and it's about Thomas, we could say, all right, 521, that's May 21st. 5 being May, 21 being the 21st date. So PS 521 is about Thomas, and that's where we'd be able to know for sure that Thomas is Biggie, if we didn't already know. PS 914, that's Nas's birth date, September 14. PS 616, Tupac's birthday, June 16. PS 124, Jay-Z's birth date, December 4th. The PS 616 Tupac section references Staring at the World Through My Rearview. The 4 lunch periods are depicting the kids discussing various episodes of Miami Vice. Jay-Z isn't interested in being either Tubbs or Crockett. He was going to be Calderon. PS can either be public schools or maybe Psalms, not sure. The section has an Arthur and a Merlin. It's probably not by accident. The book calls this chapter Vice or the Apocalypse. And initially you think it's Miami Vice because it references Miami Vice in the chapter, but it could also mean the vices, like the 7 deadly sins. So there's vices and virtues. You can look those up. I don't want to spend too much time going through the list of vices and virtues, but it would be an excellent research topic for you to do on your own. And we could take a quick look that PS 521 does kind of demonstrate that Biggie may have some of the 7 deadly sins going on. So there's lust, gluttony, avarice and greed, sloth and discouragement, wrath, envy, pride, and Thomas, aka Biggie, we could say is guilty of all 7 deadly sins, but then again we could say most of us are. The lunch period kids are all describing Miami Vice episodes. And it's probably Miami Vice Season 2, Episode 7, which will be in the next slide. But I also found Miami Vice Season 2, Episode 1 was entitled The Prodigal Son. And that's where Crockett and Tubbs go to New York City to assist the DEA in hunting down a gang of Colombian drug dealers responsible for killing several undercover agents who were posing as dealers in Miami. Meanwhile, Tubbs reunites with his old flame, Valerie, which is played by Pam Grier. I think Nas has an album called The Prodigal Son, but is Tupac the Prodigal Son? Okay, yeah, my mistake. Nas's album is called Godson. The Prodigal Son is a person who spends money in a reckless, extravagant way, or a person who leaves home and behaves recklessly, but later makes a repentant return. It reminds me of that interview when Tupac goes, I want people to say, remember when Tupac was real bad? Remember when Tupac was real bad? So I guess Tupac's the Prodigal Son. I don't know how the wrong Miami Vice chapter slipped on me first. Can't See Me is Disc 2, Track 1 on All Eyes on Me. Season 2, Episode 1. But anyway, let's take a look at the next one. Miami Vice Season 2, Episode 7, Tale of the Goat. The synopsis is that Crockett and Tubbs escort a coffin containing a criminal to his final Miami resting place, until it's learned that he has risen from the dead, returned from the grave to collect an old debt, and has a similar zombie fate scheduled for Tubbs. Tupac, Biggie, Jay-Z, and Nas, and RAKIM are often compared for who is the GOAT, the GOAT, the greatest of all time. LL Cool J, Eminem, Tech Nine, Big Daddy Kane, Cool G Rap, Big L were also other runners-up, and there's plenty of others. It's been a long time debate for years and years. So why this was selected, it could be for the Voodoo, it could be for the GOAT, greatest of all time reference, comparing the 4 characters of the lunch periods. I guess that would be the most likely explanation. Because the 4 characters, Jay-Z, Nas, Biggie, Tupac, are all the greatest of all time. And the Miami Vice episode is Tale of the Goat. And this book is the tale of the greatest of all time. You know that, or somebody rising from the dead, returning from the grave to collect an old debt. So-called beef with you-know-who. Voodoo. Voodoo economics was referenced earlier by George H.W. Bush, calling Reaganomics voodoo economics. Mr. Voodoo is the character that Biggie says he wants to be like from the Miami Vice episode. And that's really what tipped me off to it being season 2, episode 7, was I was able to look up Dr. Voodoo and Miami Vice. And this connects Biggie to Jay-Z, because in 1995, 1996, Biggie and Jay-Z seemed to be in cahoots. There's a story of their meeting by DJ Clark Kent, a.k.a. DJ Spider-Man. Might look that up. In the White Book, it says that Jay-Z's roots come from a secret society in New Orleans. Well, Dr. Voodoo is the king in New Orleans. Jay-Z and Beyonce just bought a house in New Orleans. Dr. Voodoo must be based off of a real person from New Orleans lore. Voodoo continued. In the Biggie video for Hypnotize, the boat in the video is the Tempest. On the last verse, Biggie says, use the force like Obi. And he's talking about OBEAH or Obi and not Obi-Wan Kenobi. OBEAH, Obi, is a creature in voodoo lore. Obi is the creature you summon if you are lazy or average on something that you want to be a star in. You got to mess around with Obi to accomplish that via black magic. Then you can hypnotize, Biggie's Hypnotize, the public and be the icon that you want to be. Voodoo and hypnosis go hand in hand. Now keep in mind that Biggie enjoyed Paul's knowledge on the Bible, but once he found out that he had to put in work to research it, he wasn't as interested. He's going to need to employ the skills of Obi, the Tempest. And I recall I said that Biggie's boat was called the Tempest in the Hypnotized video. And the Tempest is a play by William Shakespeare, believed to have been written in 1610 to 1611, and thought by many critics to be the last play that Shakespeare wrote alone. Now, Shakespeare is a recurring theme when you study Tupac, including the Resurrection film, where Tupac references Shakespeare, and there's many other connections, such as Christopher Marlowe's death. Christopher Marlowe is thought to be the original William Shakespeare, one of them, and the date of his death, if you take the year and subtract it from 1996, the date of Tupac's fake death, you get 403, and 403 is 4:03 p.m., the time of death for Tupac. So there seems to be some kind of a connection between Christopher Marlowe, William Shakespeare, and Tupac. So the Tempest is set on a remote island where Prospero, the rightful Duke of Milan, plots to restore his daughter Miranda to her rightful place using, get this, using illusion and skillful manipulation. He conjures up a storm, the eponymous Tempest, to lure his usurping brother Antonio and the complicit King Alonso of Naples to the island. There's got to be a reason why Biggie called the boat the Tempest, unless he was just renting the Tempest. Obi, sometimes spelled Obi, Obeah, or Obeah, is a term used in the West Indies to refer to folk magic, sorcery, and religious practices developed among West African slaves, specifically of Igbo origin. Obi is similar to other Afro-American religions, including Palo, Voodoo, Santeria, and Hoodoo. Obi Trice, real name, no gimmick. RAKIM dream. So this brings up to the RAKIM dream that I had back last year in late March, early April 2014. I had a random dream in late March, early April 2014 where I was on a New York City subway. The setting was very vivid, so it wasn't like a black and white dream. Everything was in color, super vivid, more vivid than most of my dreams. And I have a lot of dreams. If you see my other videos on my channel, I sometimes make videos out of the dreams that I had just so that others could experience the amazing dreams that I have. I mean, my dreams are phenomenal. They're not prophetic, not always, but they are certainly vivid with details. And so this will be an introduction into the dreams that I have. In fact, in my book, Simulation Theory, I think in chapter 3, I have just all the dreams that I wrote down in the year 2002 to 2004 written down as like short stories, just because the characters, the settings, everything's so vivid. So anyway, back to this dream about RAKIM. The setting was very vivid. No one else was on the subway except this New York Jamaican guy that kind of looked like Praz from the Fugees and a mix between Black Thought from The Roots and Do It All from Lords of the Underground. And he was in full color. The environment was all in full color as well. And he had on like a blue puffy vest, not Puff Daddy, but like those puffy vests, and like insulated, and then a long sleeve T-shirt, and some Jamaican color key bands like around like on his like his waistband, and then he had sweatbands on his wrists and necks, a blue baseball hat tilted to the side, which would then like morph into the hat that Sway from Sway in the Morning and Sway in Tech wears all the time, and he had Timberland boots on, blue jeans, and he says, "Hey you," and act like I don't hear him, and he says, Hey, dude, I'm talking to you. You're the only other fucking guy on the subway. Look at me. Hey, come here. Look, you." So I walk up to him and he says, "All right, listen, focus, because you're dreaming right now. And this is a dream, but I want you to do something for me when you wake up. Can you do that? Listen, eyes on me here, buddy." And I said, "What? I'm dreaming?" He goes, "Hey, come on, man, be cool. You dream all the time. Weird stuff like this happens to you all the time. So I'm about to hype you to some game. And I want you to make sure you're hearing me. So focus. You hear me here? Listen. Eyes on me. Because you're dreaming. You're going to wake up. And when you wake up, RAKIM. Investigate RAKIM. And you will find your answers. You slept on RAKIM with this Big Daddy Kane alliance and all this stuff you had. You need to investigate RAKIM. You slept on him long enough. The time is now for you to investigate RAKIM and find out why RAKIM is called the God. You denied it out of your desire to control the conversations of hip-hop. But check out my man Ra. There's something in it for you. Long-held questions that you had will all be answered, and all will be revealed if you look up RAKIM. So remember, when you wake up, I want you to investigate RAKIM." And just like that, I woke up in my bed, and I'm like, what? Did that just happen? Did I just have that dream? And it was like 3 o'clock in the morning. I grabbed my iPad. So I woke up and I'm like, man, I felt really good. Like having a dream like that just feels good. I felt real relaxed, real happy, and just real blown away that I had a quasi paranormal experience like that, where this guy broke the fourth wall, spoke directly to me, and said, "Hey, man, I know you're dreaming. I know you're dreaming, dude. It's cool, man. But just listen to me. You got to check out RAKIM." So when I woke up, I grabbed my iPad, which I keep on my bed so that I could type out my dreams when I wake up in the dark, because you can't see in the dark, but the iPad has a backlight, so you could type in dreams, even though my eyes are like half open. But at least I try to type stuff in. Most of the time I miss the keys, and it's just all jumbled junk. But sometimes those context clues help you remember, because, like dreams fade. So I bring up RAKIM on Wikipedia on my iPad. Wikipedia is always a great place to start. And the first thing I find out is about the Nation of Gods and Earths. I'm like, man, that's a really cool name. What's that? NGE? And the Nation of Gods and Earths are like an offshoot of the 5% Nation, which is an offshoot of the Nation of Islam. And I'm just like, man, Gods and Earths, that's so awesome. That's like something I'd join. And so gods refer to like men, and Earths are the women. And it finally made sense to me why the rappers like Wu-Tang and Nas, they'd all say, "Word God, yo son." They weren't saying son like "you're my son." They were saying son like S-U-N, and yo God. So I guess guys refer to each other as gods. I really don't know. I'm not a member of Gods and Earths, but that's kind of what I gathered. And things started to make a lot of sense. And figuring out that yo God, yo son, that actually made me feel better, because back in 93 when Wu-Tang and Nas came out, everybody kind of like slurred their speech. Because prior to that, the rappers for the most part were very articulate in their diction when they speak. So like if you look at Queen Latifah, Kumo D, even Chuck D, and KRS-One, I liked it where I felt like these were guys I could look up to. But once they started talking like the Wu-Tang business, I was like, man, what's wrong with these guys? So this brought peace to me for the yo son, word God, know what I'm saying, word God, yo son. Brought peace to me for that. And so the 18th letter, it never dawned on me what the 18th letter was. RAKIM called his album the 18th letter. And I did not draw the comparison to realize that the 18th letter of the alphabet was the R, the R. So yeah, it's embarrassing to say that, but I needed Wikipedia to point it out. But then suddenly I was like, oh man, the R. That makes sense. The seventh seal is the seventh letter of the supreme alphabet, which we'll get to that. And that's G for God. So then it was understood why Rakim was called the God. And then there was a song called Reunited by Wu-Tang Clan. Reunited, double LP, world excited, struck a match till the underground industry ignited. But on the RZA's verse, he said, arm, leg, arm, head. And I never knew, like his whole verse made sense to me, except arm, leg, arm, head. I was like, what the heck is arm, leg, arm, head? Because he said it like he really meant it. And I come to find that arm, leg, arm, head is Allah, A-L-L-A-H. So yeah, thank you, Wikipedia. And so those, and that's just a little bit of what I learned. But those were big things for me because the arm, leg, arm, head had been in my mind since Wu-Tang Forever came out. And I've always wondered what the 18th letter was. Even though I could have just looked in the alphabet. But I don't know. I don't know why it just didn't dawn on me. And discovering the nations of gods and earths led me to find all these rappers that were members of the nation of gods and earths. And all their collaborations and all their vocabulary and everything that they did suddenly all came together for me. So it's like this discovery of Rakim for you may not mean that much. And you'll see on one of the upcoming slides all the rappers that are in this. But for me, it all started to make sense. So the dream where the guy said you need to investigate Rakim was profound and prophetic. And it unlocked lifelong mysteries for me. And Rakim made the song Know the Ledge from Juice, and that was from Tupac's movie Juice. So through Rakim, I got to know the knowledge and know the ledge. And it wasn't that I don't know why I used to diss Rakim in my childhood. He was awesome, and I liked him. As a kid, I couldn't understand. I used to watch Yo MTV Raps in like 1988. And, I'd see Eric B. and Rakim, and their videos were just kind of boring to a 9-year-old. As I was 9, I like, later on, Microphone Fiend. I ended up getting one of the Eric B. and Rakim albums, the one that had Microphone Fiend on it. And I liked that song. And I even liked all of his songs. I liked Know the Ledge from Juice soundtrack. That song was awesome. And Follow the Leader was okay. There was one song... Let the rhythm hit him. No, don't sweat the technique. I'm not sure. They just got played so much on Yo MTV Raps that I just felt like Eric B. and Rakim were forced on me. And then later on in life, everyone was calling him the God. And I'm like, Rakim's not the God, man. There's so many other rappers. But now that I'm older, I really appreciate Rakim. And I guess that's why that dream happened. And it helped me appreciate Rakim, and now I try to catch up on my Eric B. and Rakim and my Rakim solo and solos plural. So Rakim's great. I don't know why I slept on him, but I didn't. But I did take the bait for Big Daddy Kane in the Big Daddy Kane versus Rakim debate, just like Biggie versus Tupac. I still take Tupac over Biggie all day, any day, and I'll never regret that. So then there was a list of prominent gods and earths artists that are in hip-hop. So that's Rakim, Carmelo Anthony, who's a basketball player, Killa Army, Nas, Lakim Shabazz, Wu-Tang Clan, Poor Righteous Teachers, Gang Starr, MF Doom, Jay Electronica, Busta Rhymes, Black Thought, Raz-Kaz, Just Allah, Cormega, Prince Paul, Brand Nubian, and Brand Nubian had a lot of stuff in their songs that I looked at, Ice Cube, Erykah Badu, Black Sheep, AZ, Allah Mathematics, Large Professor, Diggable Planets, Sons of Man, Talib Kweli, Big Daddy Kane, Jada Kiss, Tragedy Gaddafi, LL Cool J, who now I think says he's not part of that, GQ, and Pete Rock and CL Smooth. Based on my conversations with New Yorkers about the Nation of Gods and Earths and what LL Cool J said they were just like the robbing and stealing criminal arm of what they were doing with hip-hop. And the people of New York that I knew, they weren't too fond of me asking them about them. And I even watched a video of Rakim and Nas, an interview with them, and Rakim basically was alluding to the idea that he just take anything you want, diamonds and jewelry, whatever. All I know of Nations of Gods and Earths is from what I read on Wikipedia. I don't know about them in real life. I'm not a member, so I don't claim any knowledge on what they're doing or either endorse or not endorse. I'm just reporting, as I'm doing with everything here. There's a song by RAKIM called Holy Are You. You should check out the lyrics on Rap Genius. That website's awesome. And listen to the song while you read the lyrics. The lyrics are pretty awesome, and they really pertain to a lot of the stuff we've been reading in the White Book. Now, speaking of books, Stranger in a Strange Land is written by Robert Heinlein, and one of the lines that the main character says is, "Thou art God." And his name was Michael Valentine Smith. He was a human born on Mars, and he was brought back to Earth because he had a life insurance plan that had matured to about $3 trillion from the astronauts that went from Earth to Mars. And Valentine Smith, the human, was born on Mars, raised by Martians, and he had Martian powers that he brought to Earth. He also brought Martian religion, values, spirituality, and deep knowledge. Jubal Harshaw was the other main character of the book. This book is phenomenal for its time period, and if you read it, you'll instantly be in you'll have instant friends. Like everybody that's read Stranger in a Strange Land will be friends with you. It's like a book that bonds people together. Just like Tupac brings everybody together. Stranger in a Strange Land, I guarantee you, if you read it and someone else that read it knows you read it, you guys will be friends. Or you at least you'll have conversations, you'll have an understanding amongst each other, and you'll be water brothers. So through this discovery of RAKIM, and if I didn't have that dream in April 2014, I almost guarantee I wouldn't be sitting here right now reviewing the White Book, because that RAKIM dream sent me on an odyssey. And so learning of the gods and earths, I also learned about the supreme alphabet. So we'll go through all the letters here because I think the supreme alphabet plays into Tupac's All Eyes on Me and possibly other releases. So A is Allah. Allah is the Asiatic black man. Asia is the body. Attic is the mind. Black is the dominant force. Man is the higher intelligence. A backronym for arm, leg, arm, head. Wow. Just like I was saying with the RZA, the father of the universe, all in all. B or born. B means to exist. And I used to hear rappers say, "Yo, B, what's up, B?" To be born is to bring into existence mentally through the nation of gods and earths, or physically by way of the old earth's womb life. C, C-E-E, remember that, or C. To see is to have insight, to comprehend through the mind's eye. To see is to have insight, to see through the physical, to understand. They can't see me. D, divine, the essence of self, godly by nature, which can neither be added to nor taken away from. Can't say Allah without saying all. One's nature is pure and untampered with. E, equality, knowledge, your knowledge. You will deal with everything within your cipher equally, which gives birth to wisdom that is showing and proving. Everything is everything, which equals one. Equality gives birth to wisdom, and mathematics do not lie. F, father. To father mentally as well as physically. To father means to further one's physical and mental development by way of proper education, history, and proper nutrition, diet, the proper foods. G, God. The original man, the black man of Asia, the supreme form of life manifested, the mind of human beings. And humans are here to attain perfection by building and destroying, which shows and proves that mathematics do not lie. I keep seeing show and prove, and there was a song by Big Daddy Kane featuring, I think, Jay-Z and Old Dirty Bastard and Shaheem and a bunch of other rappers back in the day. Show and prove. Yeah. Big posse cut. H, he or her. Those who have the power to build or destroy based on their level of intelligence. I, or Islam. Islam is our culture, not a religion like traditional Islam. We are a culture that lives in tune with our divine nature. This means to live in tune with the universe and the mathematical principles that govern it. We are the essence of the very universe that surrounds us. J, justice. This is the divine balance of the universe. It is the reward or penalty for one's ways and actions. Karma. The rewards for embracing Islam are love, peace, and happiness. The penalty for living in discord is hell, suffering, stress, lack of understanding, confusion, mental and physical death due to a life of savagery. K. King or kingdom. L. Love. Hell or right correctly. You would go through hell to make what you love right. Daily we are given the opportunity to love hell or right. It is the crossroad of one faces each and every day. When you chose to love hell, you accept your hellish predicament in life. If you chose to love right, then you are blessed with the good that is returned for your right actions. Karma equals what goes around comes back around. You reap what you sow. And also L stands for a 90-degree right angle in mathematics. Supreme alphabet M through R. M, master, one who knows and understands. N, in or now nation. Now is the present time. End is the conclusion. Nation is a group of civilized people. O, cipher, completion, a circle consisting of 360 degrees. Any person, place, or thing. The cipher, hip-hop cipher. P, power, is the truth, the light and the magnetic juice that keeps the universe in fixed form. So I guess when George Clinton says, "Through the stairs of a million eyes, you will never realize that you will never see the P." So I guess you'll never see the power or the Parliament Funkadelic, the P-Funk All-Stars, the light and the magnetic juice. Queen, Q, queen, a woman who has knowledge of self. R, rule or ruler, the R. God is the only ruler there is by acknowledging his building powers and making them born to all planets of the universe so that they could go accordingly with Islam. Supreme alphabet S through Z. S, self, savior, one's own being, savior, a person who saves others. T, truth or square. Truth without lies. Square, something you firmly believe. You or universe, and UNI verse. UNITY. You are the universe because we are the creators of the sun, moon, and star or man, woman, and child. V, victory. Victory comes after the war, which will give man his freedom, justice, and equality. W, wisdom, woman. Wisdom is the component of knowledge, while the understanding brings about a clear picture of both through the eye of true understanding. X, unknown. Equality is unknown to man everywhere who do not know themselves. Those are the 85 percenters. Why is the question that is most frequently asked by the 85 percenters because they can't wisdom their power to show and prove godlyhood. Z, zigzag, zig, from knowledge to wisdom to understanding. So I guess the 15%, the 5% could reference the Essenes from the previous part. I don't know if that's the first time the Supreme Alphabet has been read into existence on YouTube, but there it is. So you just got to experience that. That's pretty cool. The Supreme Alphabet and Tupac, all about you. You is universe. Can't see me. See or see. To see is to have insight, to comprehend through the mind's eye. To see is to have insight, to see through the physical, to understand. So if you can't see me, you can't comprehend me. Bury me a G. G is God, the original man, the black man of Asia, the supreme form of life manifested, the mind of human beings, and humans are here to attain perfection by building and destroying, which shows and proves that mathematics do not lie. Notorious b.i.g, supreme alphabet. B, be or born. B means to exist. To be born is to bring into existence. B. I, or Islam. Islam is the culture. So b.i.g, born Islam God. Mr. C, and C is the C, discovered b.i.g. It was Queen Latifah's UNITY supreme alphabet, because I guess she'd be considered an Earth. She's a woman. Gods and Earths. I don't know. I'm just asking because I don't know. So now we just did the supreme alphabet. Now there's obviously got to be a supreme mathematics. And what's crazy is I just went to get a smoothie, and on the way there I was listening to Be Real's Smokebox, and he was interviewing Too Short, and Too Short mentioned they were asking about the name of his album, and he said he was going to call it like album 30 because he really loves numbers and he loves mathematics, and he was saying that some of his songs include mathematics. So who knew Too Short was even into this? Although I did, because Too Short says that he's a conspiracy theorist. So Too Short's one of us. That's pretty cool. Grew up on Too Short. Love Too Short. And Too Short was at the Truth About Tupac 44th anniversary. And Short Dog is cool enough to even roll with us for the Tupac is still alive. So here's the Too Short. The supreme mathematics is a system of understanding numerals alongside concepts and qualitative representations that are used along with the supreme alphabet. The supreme mathematics is thought to be the highest system of numerology in the NGE, Nation of Gods and Earths, used to give qualitative value to numbers in addition to quantity. Supreme mathematics. You know, I was looking at a lot of old RAKIM songs today, and he definitely mentions mathematics often. As a kid, I just thought they said mathematics because it's a cool word to say. Lots of syllables in that word, but now I realize that it wasn't just for fun. So the supreme mathematics breaks down to 1 is knowledge, 2 is wisdom, 3 is understanding, 4 is culture, freedom, 5 is power, refinement, 6 equality, 7 God, 8 build, destroy, 9 born, 0 cipher. And we can see that those probably tie to some of the letters. When I saw wisdom, I just thought of Funky Funky Wisdom by Kumo D. Rakim, the seventh seal. And these are quotes from Rakim about the seventh seal, and we can see how this ties into all this. He says the number 7 has a lot of significance. Damn, 7-day theory. The 7th letter of the supreme alphabet is G. That stands for God. There are 7 continents, 7 seas. The 7th seal deals with that and also some revelations in the Bible. Some call it the end of the world, but for me, it's the end of the old and the beginning of the new. By me naming my album that, I'm using it metaphorically in hip-hop. I'm hoping to kill the old state of hip-hop and start with the new. I can't do a good Rakim impersonation, that's why I'm not trying, but let me see. Nah, I can't. The seals are from the Bible, Revelations and the coming of the apocalypse, but Islam, Judaism, Christianity all have a version of the same events. The Lion of Judah breaks the 7 seals one by one, each imparting knowledge and inflicting catastrophe, ending with 7 trumpets announcing the end of times. After the apocalypse, God rises from the ashes to recreate the kingdom, taking only the greatest elements from the past with them. When you look at hip-hop, I want to do that, to spit fire and take our best from the ashes to build our kingdom, to recognize all the regional styles, conscious lyrics, the tracks, underground, mainstream, the way we treat each other, lose the garbage and rebuild our scene. I've always tried to insert consciousness and spirituality in my records, interpreting the writings of all cultures and religions and how they apply to life in modern times. That's pretty awesome. Rakim, dude. I'm still trying to figure out why I had beef with Rakim. It might have been because I was big on the Tech 9 Blown Away track where he goes, Rakim the God, I just blew them all to smithereens. I don't know. But this is my apologies to Rakim. I'm trying to give him praise at this point just for my personal, I don't know, I just feel bad about it. Anyway, Francis Bacon, he might not have ever died. He was said to be William Shakespeare and ascended to the 13th chakra and achieved Christ consciousness. Did Tupac also do this? I guess he's buried in Jermaine, Luxor Light Ascension. Tupac is the Luxor. Biggie is the Lazy Luxor. And we touched on Lux and Light in the previous chapter in 83, I think. Jeremiah Friedman, maybe John Manili. Possible identification. So through our research, we found John Manili, and he was recently fired by Jay-Z after a long relationship. And John Manili was Rockefeller's finance chief. Dame Dash fired him originally, and Jay quickly hired him to oversee his own business ventures, and some allege that this played a role in Jay and Dame's fallout. Jay-Z splits with Roc Nation and biz partner John Maniley. And that, I'm guessing that's Jeremiah Friedman from the previous chapter. I could be wrong. But if we can positively identify John Maniley as Jeremiah Friedman, Whiteout, if you're listening, add that to your chart, to the Whiteout White Book Decoded chart, because it is the unofficial Rosetta Stone for us that we have going. And without that, I probably wouldn't have joined into this cause. So, Whiteout, add that to your chart, please. Thank you. Know the Ledge. You know, this book is a spiritual journey for all of us. It's a journey of discovery. And myself and others believe that this book isn't meant to find the people. The book is meant for the people to find. And it's been waiting for you. So it's awesome that we are embarking on this, learning things. And I never even heard of the Supreme Alphabet, Supreme Mathematics. Had I not had that dream, and had I not have some chance discussions with Tupac fans reading the White Book, I would never have known about the Supreme Mathematics and the Supreme Alphabet. That discovery really motivated me, and that's why I wanted to break this chapter into 4 parts, because I wanted to have that included. I don't know how it's going to fit in. I just feel like that's a key to all of this. And once again, we're here at 37 minutes in. So I'll see you in 1985. We're finally done with 1984. I mean, I have no one to blame but myself and Makavelli, the author, for writing such an awesome chapter and for the path of discovery that this chapter has led me on. I think it's been like a 2 to 3 week odyssey. So it's really transformed me. And thanks for allowing me the opportunity to present extended information that may or may not seem outside the boundaries of the subject matter of the 1984 chapter, but it was important for me to share that. So thanks for not dropping out on me. The goal for the future is to keep all future videos between 10 and 15 minutes per chapter. We'll see how that goes, because 36, this is too much of an investment for all of us. If you enjoy the topics I talk about, there are other videos on my channel, and I have a 2005 solo album, Mind Over Matrix, and it's a deep conscious album. And my friends that have listened to it, they're like, you know what? Anybody that listens to this album will know who you are, because it's basically you explaining your entire philosophy. So when my friend told me that, I thought that was a really excellent explanation, because that's how I felt too. So if you want to get to know me a little bit more, or at least who I was a decade ago in 2005, check out Mind Over Matrix. You could get the CD on Amazon, but it's also free online in a couple places, YouTube being one of them. It's on my Dual Legacy channel. Dual Legacy Entertainment LLC is my company, and it's where we release all of our albums. Mr. Lippy is one of them, or Jonathan Lippy, Mind Over Matrix. I've also published a book called Simulation Theory. It's a good book. Again, if you want to know more about me, my thoughts, at least what my thoughts were in 2007, that's when I wrote it, you could get Simulation Theory. Tupac news as of late is that there's a fake sounding Hit 'Em Up 2015 song and Now I Rise 2016 trailer. The Hit 'Em Up 2015, it's pretty clever. It sounds like someone pieced together a bunch of stuff, but it's on beat. It's pretty cool. And then the Now I Rise 2016 trailer, it's like, man, what is this? I want to know more. So if anybody knows about Now I Rise 2016, let us know. And as I said, check out the channel. Like if there's a day where you're like, man, when is 1985 coming out? Or in the future, when is he going to get to 1986? Peep out the rest of the videos on the channel. You might learn something cool. I try to always talk about neat stuff. So yeah, I'll see you in 1985, and hopefully it'll be a lot shorter. But thanks for sticking with me throughout all this. Ride out, Tupac. May the force be with you. See you in 1985.